Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Carvajal again, and I'm the art therapist. This next lesson that we're going to do, this art therapy activity, is called an altar book. So some of you might have done it before, some of you might not have. So I'll go over some of the basics. Pretty much an altar book, this is my example, and I'll show it to you a little bit better later on. An altar book is the transformation and alteration of an old used book into something new with a whole new look. And so it requires mixed media, it requires different techniques, using a variety of materials to create a whole new meaning to your book. And you can also use journal prompts, or it could be that later on I give you some journal prompts that you can use for your book. Um, the slideshow that I have a few examples of other books, but for right now, I'll just focus on one that I worked on. Do know that this takes a lot of time because essentially every page is its own art. So the first process that you're gonna do is you're going to pick a book that is old, or maybe a book that you're not so attached to, or maybe a book that's meaningful to you. You read it a lot of times and it's something that's very special for you. You would like to create additional art on it to reflect on it or ponder about. So I'll show you an example of a book that I have in my bookshelf. Not necessarily, I'm not going to change it because I want to read it first, but I want to give you an example. Um, so I recommend a hardcover book. So this is a hardcover book. By that I mean it has a cover, so you can take it off the cover, but then it has a really hard bound sleeve or front and back. So this is reason why I like this one's better is because you have a lot of space for putting items in here, for making it, I guess the more mixed media you do, the heavier the book gets, and just for durability, I think it tends to last longer. And also, like, think about the title. So for example, this one, it will be a really nice one for a altar book. The title is You Gotta Have Heart. So I can imagine it being a lovely book. So the materials you're gonna need are similar to the other activity with the comfort box. The materials will be construction paper, white paper, paint, rulers, Crayolas, markers. You're gonna need hot glue gun if you have things that are a little bit harder to glue in. You're gonna need oil pastels. Oil pastels work really well on books because they tend to be a little bit thicker and stronger. Highlighters in case you want to make something brighter, glitter, tissue paper, found objects, ribbon, tape. Magazines has been my favorite thing to use for mixed media with altar books, and scissors, of course, to cut out things. So there's so many ideas on this on altar books. I'll show you what I've done, but I also recommend looking up on Pinterest. Pinterest.com. If you just search altar books, you're gonna get a whole lot of examples and ideas, things that you never thought were possible, and look at it and see what you like and try it. My Your first goal can be just decorating the cover and choosing the book. So decorate the cover in the back or maybe just the front. That's what I did with mine, and then just kind of go through the pages and see what comes. Is there a page that you gravitate to? Is there words that you gravitate to? And you can use this time to make at least 2 pages to start with. I mean, the front cover and then maybe a page inside. This can go on for a while, like I said before, and I don't expect you guys to have that many pages, but try your best. This is your time to express yourself. So I'll show you mine. Well, first it started like this. I put decorative paper. I glued it in there. And so the front used to be like that. And then I added a collage. So a collage it's the combination of images to make a whole new image. So by putting things together, in this case, I put words in some magazine images. It says, become, compassion, magic, love, connect, wonder, discover the inside. So it's a little bit about The book will probably be about me. It's about me. So I like the clouds and I like the words. And it's a cool technique to just cut out words from a magazine, or you can make it your own. So this too, Become and Compassion, I actually printed it off the computer and then I highlight it. Then I have the inside. This is my name. Very simple. I also, there's ways to make a pop-up. So you can cut off pages, and this is supposed to be a bird. Has a little bit of glitter, and so there's different layers to the bird. And this you can also find Pinterest, different ideas, or you can create your own. Have another bird. And so this one, I sometimes you'll have pages in your book that's mostly white, but then I didn't want to include some of the writing in the back, so I painted white with white paint over it so I could have more of a blank background. And then I left part of it quotes that I really wanted. This is just an example of me painting white with blue, so light blue, and lyrics that I liked and drawing on top of it. This one is kind of abstract and living behind some of the letters, the writing in the back, and working along with it. So clouds again in the head. And then I have this is just in tape art, so blocking out parts of the book with painter's tape or thin tape, and then painting over it. This one is just a random page. This is actually a starfish, so it's texture. So I had to use a hot glue gun for that one. Another one with cutouts of the pages. Then a collage, and then writing on it. So sometimes when you can't find a word in collage, just write it yourself. And just plain drawing with charcoal. So I experimented with different art materials just to see how they felt and what they did. And so charcoal tends to smudge. That's okay though. And then this is just more cutting and layering and what happens behind that. This is more like an abstract, and this is just doodling and scribbling. So it's something that I might go over in another session or another YouTube video. And then just more collage. And then also using nature. And so I cut a hole in the pages to make a spot for this flower that I got. And granted, this I probably made 3 years ago. So it's very dry. It used to be yellow. But I taped it in there. And so it's still there. Just brown now. And then one of my favorite ones is cutting an envelope in half and writing a letter for somebody. So like I wrote a letter to my grandma, and then it's a letter, and then I put it inside and insert it inside the envelope. And then I have one for my grandfather, and then I just have another collage, my back page, and then I don't have anything yet on my back. So this is an ongoing book, and I did forget to tell you guys the title. It's Moral Tale. Never read the book actually. I just I wanted the color and I thought it would be interesting. So if you really don't have a book, I recommend walking around your neighborhood. Now it's safe, of course, if you can, and just stay 6 feet away from people, and make sure you disinfect everything. And the little libraries, the free library books places, they have a lot of books to borrow, and in this case, just get it, keep it, and alter it or change it or transform it, and that's it. So I look forward to seeing some of the items you guys create. Oh, another thing, if you can't, if you don't have any big books like this, you can also use children's books. So if there's a children's book, maybe you're too old already for it, and maybe it wasn't your favorite book, or maybe you were going to donate it, or give it away, use it or and change it. And most children books, well, some of them have hardcovers, and that will be really fun to change around too and play around with it. So I look forward to seeing what you guys create. Have a great day.